Hello my friends and welcome back to our blind let's play Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Miles Edgeworth the Prosecutor's Path. My name is FlightlessBird, this is Story's Gaming channel, and today we're going to confront Karen and Granny over their autopsy report, because the autopsy report is very suspicious because it looks like the order of events happened in a different way other than what they said. Well, let's not waste any time, let's jump right into it, shall we? Hope we're all having a wonderful, fantastic day today. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. So, you're saying there is no way Dr. Young could have made a mistake? Of course. Doctors can't afford to make mistakes. This is a world where just one misdiagnosis can end a long career. I know that my granny, at least, would never. If I did something like that, you think they'd still let me run a hospital? I've been working with corpses longer than you've been alive. So, in your long career, you've never once made a mistake. A doctor's only as good as the length of their track record. If we're just talking about a lengthy track record, that former chief prosecutor has one too. And yet, his actual abilities don't seem to measure up. I hope that you're not the same as well. Ouch! Well, that's a little blow, you know? But you know, Edgeworth, I don't make mistakes either, you see? Cause you see, before I can make a mistake, those around me will already have made it instead. You see, I don't have time for mistakes. It's quite amazing, you know? Must be karma. You can't compare a chief prosecutor with a doctor. You really can't? Well, I think the, I think the point that Edgeworth is trying to make is we're all human, so we can all make mistakes. Although, I don't think this is an accidental mistake. I think this is purposeful. There's no way I make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch! The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head. And yet, there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem. Well, that's ouch! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning. The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different. Yeah. I relayed to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax. Relayed to Karen? Please elaborate on that. So is Granny not suspicious, and is Karen the one who's suspicious? I relayed everything to Karen. After that, it was none of my beeswax. I would like to verify once again what you saw when you examined the body. Like we said, ouch! Oh, well, about that. She was done in by a thump to her noggin. Dr. Young, do you know when that happened? Before she died, of course. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen, so that's what should have been written in the report. That's what you relayed to her, eh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth. I wasn't expecting this. I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report. You may have nothing to gain, but how about your granddaughter? Me? That there isn't anything I could gain. If Karen had something to gain, then that girl of yours might have something too. How dare you accuse my little girl, who has never done harm to anybody? Yeah, aren't you ashamed of yourself? Nope, not really. She should address those words to Blaise instead of me. I swear that the autopsy report wasn't falsified. Is that what she says, see? There's nothing strange at all. Did you notice anything strange when you were performing the autopsy? I wonder, huh? What is it, Granny? A strange man came by. Who are you calling strange? He wore some really strange clothes. He even had a frilly thing around his neck. Even though he was about to get canned, he still tried to run amok during my autopsy. I'm talking about you frilly red brute. I see. So Mr. Edgeworth is a strange frilly red brute? Kay, please don't only remember odd things about me. It doesn't look like Granny is lying. Miss Jensen is the one who is relaying Dr. Young's words. I'll have to confirm whether or not Miss Jensen is telling us the truth. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy. Okay, so obviously, this one is the one that's wrong. Because the autopsy report is not written correctly. Okay, good. I worried there for a second because the music was still playing. I'm like, come on, this one seems so obvious to me. Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes. I'll read it out for you. Ouch! This autopsy report wasn't written by me. What? What do you mean? Man, she is gonna have oh my gosh! Talk about abuse going on in this family. Look at that smile. That's like a horrible, demented smile. I don't know. But Granny, I can't say that. Miss Jensen, if you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession. Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow, she mimicked her voice perfectly. Okay, I didn't, but anyway. There was no need for it to go that far, though. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report had been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen. Oh, With that, we've proven that the wound on her head came first, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report?
Hey, hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know? She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. She must be an idiot like my son and mine. Post-mortem and ante-mortem, you know, they sound kind of similar, you know?
No, they don't. I mean, the mortem part sounds similar, but the post and ante are completely different words. They are completely opposites. So I just said, that is the very definition of falsification. Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Kay, ouch! I want you to tell me to. Why would you do something like that? Granny, but Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it. I can't say. I just can't say it. Not, I don't want to say, but I can't say.
Hey, you're all a bunch of bullies, you know?
Oh, look who's talking, mister. I'm gonna bully y'all.
Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. Oh, she's totally unrelated to this. I think we can figure out for this one teeny tiny mistake. But Kay, she must be burned at the stake. Ha!
Yeah, I know, this is just No, 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 this is so suspicious. Please, please don't let this go. Thank you. That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies?
Ah, what do you say? You see, as a former prosecutor, you ought to speak a little more clearly, you know?
Very well, as you wish. I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case. She's a true culprit? No. She's a victim? No. She's an accomplice? Yes. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit.
Ah, ouch! Well, this girl is an accomplice? Ah, what's your basis for that claim?
It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least two people, namely because the victim couldn't have been moved, the number of people wouldn't have matched, the report couldn't have been faked, the number of people wouldn't match. There's 11 people, so someone had to take her place in the auction. Is that it? If the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident.
What now? You got a problem with my testimony?
Not at all, for once. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony. That's why an accomplice must exist.
So, you still want to admit that your reason is wrong, huh?
Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, it changes the entire story completely. If the accomplice took the murdered auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11.
Oh, I see now. So, that's what you're thinking. But you know, wouldn't it have been quickly discovered?
No, because you're wearing masks and voice modulators. Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim?
I won it.
Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who was the true culprit.
I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ah! Ouch! But Granny, I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything. Granny!
Oh my god!
What the heck was that?
Oh my god! Oh, I was not expecting that. Oh. As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice.
Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes, it's okay, Granny. I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane.
So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice?
Yes, I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expected to be attacked by Miss Crane.
The conductor expected an attack from the victim.
They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at their own game. And that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began. Ah, whoa there! Ain't you fooling my eyes? If you were waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, you'd have been up in that storeroom the entire auction. I'm telling the truth. I wonder about that, you know? I mean, can we really believe a girl who would falsify a report? There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom. Well, then by all means, tell me. I waited our little nursery hide. The place in the storeroom where Miss Jensen hid was... We only have one piece of evidence that shows a hiding location. The trunk. She hid inside this costume trunk. A costume trunk, eh? Ah, well now that you mention it, the box was already there before I snuck in. I figured I would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up mess tight with the chain. And it was locked too, so I had to give it up. I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk. Yes, it would have been bad if one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction. So then, when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom. Yes, that should be alright. The auction had just been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then. You betcha! I was trembling behind that there statue the whole time, though. Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. And after killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume trunk. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened in the storm during the incident? It doesn't explain this. Because here is Lotta. Here's the lift, here's the stairs, right? Or the ladder, right? Well, she can't see what's going on here because of where she's hiding. But she saw someone go towards the ladder. So, what was up with that? Yes, that's right. Pulling the old switcheroo with one of those auction guests. Well, ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different peoples, you know? Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed the cause of ruckus? No, not at all. The reason they didn't notice the switch was because, she stole her clothes. From what I could tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person. Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and ouch! You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered up in that raincoat that was up for auction. So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened. I reckon I took the picture in the red raincoat after that. Well, that'd make all the facts line up. Well, after I took the photo, I went over to the lift to sneak a peek down below. I witnessed the 11 participants
Then I hightailed it back behind the statue. Don't tell me you were hiding there the entire time until we found you. Nah, well that's, how should I put it? What is it? Did something happen? I didn't mean it before, but I didn't mention it before. But after that, I might have dozed off a little. Oh, thanks. To be more precise, I fainted? Well, something like that. So something did happen. It ain't no big deal. Kinda embarrassing to say, though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden, and I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I just witnessed the murder, so I was shaking in my boots. My heart sort of tightened up, and I was off to La La Land. And when I woke up, it was already the next day, around the time y'all came up the storeroom. I see. So there was large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you did not know what transpired in the storeroom behind this point. I guess, but after the auction, all the masks were promptly returned. So I reckon the participants had exited through the storeroom, just like I done said. Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction resumed? I took the victor's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk, because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it. You didn't realize the box was empty? No, we only found out when I came up from the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then, I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder. Kay. Yep, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Or maybe the victim let the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop. I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor. Well, that might have been it, though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that. When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer to me. Miss Jensen, please continue your story. Well, after I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion. Was this an order from the conductor as well? Yep, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing. So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence. And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in a spare conductor's outfit. I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor. In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything. Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back. I want to help you more, but that's all I know. If I had to say, there's just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there was no way for me to borrow her hair. Ouch! What kind of corner's assistant goes around stealing a corpse's hair? I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough. Well, both the color and the length of the hair is totally different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. Two wigs? Why were there two? Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution, in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair. So that means the wavy wig was left unused. Karen's testimony jotted down an organizer. Karen's testimony on when she switched place with the victim. Is that really all you know? Yep. Yep, that's really all I know. So that means you don't know who the conductor is. I'm sorry, I only knew that person as the auction conductor. I never saw that person without a mask on. So why would you go and help him? The conductor seemed to be on guard towards everybody. At this rate.
Yes, sir. Well, Edgeworth, is that all you get? Even if that little nurse and accomplice, I mean, it absolutely changes nothing, you know? Well, in the end, the true culprit is still, that ear girl over there, Kay Faraday. Yeah, that's her. All you did was add another criminal, you know? The rule of law cannot be overturned. Or at least not for your sake.
Is this as far as I go? Am I unable to save Kay? Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up.
Objection!
Yes! I was wondering where Fran went. There she is, to our rescue. Francisca, why are you here?
Didn't I tell you, Miles Edgeworth? Whenever there is a case, I will follow.
Prosecutor Von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated.
However, don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path.
I understand.
You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay Faraday.
Detective Gumshoe did? Way to go, Gummy.
Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Joe Crane, suffer the wound on the head first.
Oh, you're a little late with that, Fran. Just all the dots.
Well, someone say something.
Well, I hate to say it, but we already proved that.
Already proved?
Yes, well, just a few minutes ago.
You should have told me sooner.
You're the one who barged in here and started talking.
Well, then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already?
No, not yet. Come on, we know what the murder weapon is. It's the candelabra. It's still the candelabra, because if you turn it around the other way, it's got a star-shaped, like, thing that you could bonk someone with.
Huh, is that so? In that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a cylindrical object. The wound on the chest was suffered post-mortem.
A cylindrical murder weapon.
Well, you know, this report of yours, I trust is accurate, of course.
These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors.
Well, that's reassuring, but it's too bad. You have no right to investigate this case.
Interpol is after the Black Market auctions, and I am the prosecutor in charge of that investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate.
You tell him, Francisca.
Especially now that she's been murdered.
Well, I see. A clever girl, Little Von Karma.
Then it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Alright, yeah, we already know that.
Unfortunately, the murder weapon has yet to be found.
Huh. Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea as to what it might be. Hey, in my investigation, We didn't find any other murder weapons, you know? If you consider the conductor's possessions and the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall was... Oh, it's not the candelabra. There's a reason why the auction stopped using a gavel, because the gavel was used as the murder. Okay, I was duped on this one. So I thought it was the candelabra, because we know that there's a pattern here, but it was cylindrical, not hexagonal. I should have realized that. It was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. That all makes sense now. Namely, an auction gavel. Gavel? Did I say the word gavel with Edgeworth? I'm sorry about that. Gavel! Gavel, gavel, gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. If the culprit is the conductor, it is possible that the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, I have proof to back it up. The piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel. It has to be the testimony. No, it's not the testimony. Cylindrical object. There we go. Autopsy report's really coming in handy in this case, isn't it? Take a look at this piece of evidence. This proves the murder weapon is the auction gavel. Miles Edgeworth! I don't know what you're trying to say. Why can't I skip the dialogue? Oh, we've already must have messed up with this before. That's a weird glitch though, because I've never been able to skip dialogue like that. I really wish I had it now, because anyway, the piece of evidence proves that the murder weapon is the auction gavel. I don't see how that's it. Someone have red rain code. I can't listen to the audio again. And I was thinking if I could listen to the audio, that would provide me with what do I need, right? The sound of the gavel was not heard afterwards. But that doesn't... I mean, that is what I said earlier, but at the same time... I think that's the only thing that actually mentions the gavel, though. If it's not the autopsy report... Yeah, there's only one thing that mentions the gavel, and that's Lotta's testimony. According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered. So I can skip that again? Why can I skip this all of a sudden? Why did I want to skip that? Dang it! However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as a murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it, isn't that right? Blaise, the best. I don't mean to skip things, by the way. It's just... It's very easy to hit that button. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, the dudes. I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Ha 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 ha. Well, good luck with that, you know. You gotta work as hard as you can while you're young, you see. He's completely confident that we won't find it. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. Alright, to be continued. Alright. Hands off a B button, FlightlessBird. I just thought it was weird that it showed up. I mean, normally when that shows up, the text is repeatable. And I'm sorry, y'all. I messed up. I'll try to be more aware. April 6th, 9:18 a.m. Grand Tower PIC meeting room. It looks like we had to find the weapon in order to pin the crime on Blaise, though. That's a big hammer. Order in the court. Prosecutor Von Karma, your report, please. I have bad news. We've searched every inch of the Great Tower, but the auction Gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict.
Well, it sure seems that way, you know? Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind a murder weapon, you know? The best criminals would never do something like that, you see?
Urgh. I don't have enough information. Is this as far as I can go?
Well, yes, it's a shame, you know? That can't be helped, you see? Well, this takes me back, you know? All those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain, they trusted me, you know? Told me every one of their dirty little secrets, you see? And when it came time for the trial, I get them sentenced to life in prison. Well, they were all completely dumbstruck, you know? Each and every one of them. Ha 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 ha! Oh, how I wish you all could have seen it, you know? The stupid look on their faces.
I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law. There's nothing more I can do. With this, both Kay and I are... If only they had some evidence! I never thought that I would be passing judgment on you like this. Blaise the best? Is this the end? Come on, say it. Say it. You know you wanna. The defendant, Blaise the best! Yes! Yes! You go, Courtney! Hero moment time! Yes! Alright, let's do this. Let's roll. Let's go. I hereby indict you. What? What? Huh? Oh. Huh. Well, that's kind of strange. I mean, what's gotten into you all of a sudden? I thought you were a smart girl, not an idiot like everyone else around here. I have here documents regarding a certain case. The IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago. We remember that. Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your keycard being used was because... I came to this room to fetch these documents, of course. Although, when I entered the meeting room, it seems it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth. IS-7... Okay. What are you doing, Justine? Why are you indicting, Pops?
Want to take a look at this?
Day of the incident, 12/24/2000, 18 years ago. Prosecutor Miles Von Karma, defense attorney Gregory Edgeworth, victim Isaac Dover, defendant Jeffrey Master. Crime scene, Dover's body was discovered inside Mr. Master's mansion. Related persons, Scones, Hall, and Gustavia. There are no clues to whereabouts of Dover's son or Gustavia's son, who until the day before the incident regularly visited at Mr. Master's mansion. Okay. Are we gonna find out who the long lost son is? Without any basis, this is slander. Ooh, that looked like it hurt.
That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course, there is a basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body.
That was because the body of the sculptor, Isaac Dover, had been stolen.
Papa fabricated information about the body? What do you mean?
Yeah, your dad was a crook.
Detective Lace, sir, who handled the initial investigation, reported that the body had gone missing. However, in order to see Prosecutor von Karma...
This music is great, by the way.
Yeah, it is. There is a person who purposely did not report to him that the body had disappeared. What?
What did you say?
That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report.
Director Young? Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the IS-7 incident?
What? But please wait, Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey.
That person.
That person was the chief prosecutor at the time.
The chief prosecutor 18 years ago. You don't mean...
The chief prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty. It was none other than you, Blaise the Best. Well, what are you saying, Ying? Pops will never do something like that. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Blaise the Best, do you have a rebuttal?
Fabricating stuff about the body? Von Karma did all that on his own, you know? Falsifying the autopsy report? Young? You would actually do something like that? Man, he really did some terrible things behind my back, you know?
Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly.
But please wait, Granny is... Ouch! Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Yep, because if I didn't, he said he would expose you.
Aha! Now we know why she got involved. Alright, all the pieces coming together.
If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's why that man, the conductor, told me.
So, Miss Jensen was being threatened. Was the conductor who threatened you Blaise the Best?
That, I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face.
Any trivial thing is fine. Give us a characteristic that could be a clue.
That's right. The conductor's mask. It exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there. I'm sure of it.
Conductor's clothes data. A tattoo? He doesn't have a tattoo, does he? A tattoo, you say?
Objection.
But he's wearing this really long beard. What if his beard is a fake?
Well, I really have no idea what you're talking about, you know? As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see? So that person doesn't match me at all, you know? Well, that person who threatened her, so-called conductor, I wonder who it is, you know? Ah ha 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 ha!
You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say.
Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess?
Jill Crane have been pursuing you just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain.
Crane was, you know? Say she was, pursuing me? My. I didn't really know her that well, you know? I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know? Ha! I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see?
You didn't know the victim well. That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now. Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony.
Well, I see. Everyone is believing me. If you're gonna go that far, well, that's fine, you see? I'll just have to make you disappear. Every last one of you.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we'll ever get him to stand in court again. Please do not let this chance go to waste.
Yes. I promise I will live up to your expectations.
Now then, Blaise the best, you shall testify regarding the victim.
Regarding Jill Crane. Well, the victim, Jill Crane. She was a member of the Prosecutor Investigator Committee, you see? Personally, well, I didn't really know her that well, you know? Either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know? I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see?
You intend to deny your guilt until the bitter end, don't you?
Oh, of course he does. There's no way Pops could be the criminal. I mean, he's my Pops, you know? He's the very best, like no one ever was.
Well, yes, Sebastian, my dumb idiot. You're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know?
All right, I got it. I'll clear you of all these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you, Pops. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, yes. Oh, you really are pure, you know? Also, a dumb idiot.
That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he?
However, one must be able to accept the mistakes of the father.
No matter how much they may look up to him. Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are.
This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes.
Regarding Jill Crane. Well, the victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutor Investigation Committee, you see?
If she was a member of the PIC, then you should have been familiar with her.
Well, I knew her face, but that's about it, you know? It's not like we met each other on a regular basis, you see? Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know?
So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim?
Well, that's right. I didn't even know about the burn mark on Crane's hand, you see?
You didn't know about the burn mark?
Well, you see, even if I had gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's a pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear, you see?
The heck does that mean? You're confusing me.
In other words, anyone who defiles him disappears. Okay, I understood that. I would like you to add your statement about the victim's burn to your testimony.
I only just learned that she had a burn mark on her hand, you see?
So you're saying that you didn't know about the victim's burn. Is that really the truth?
Hey, you really are persistent, you know? Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand? I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss, especially with someone who's a pyromaniac.
Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred.
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. Well, I thought so. She was probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see? Well, I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know? I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony. By the way, we got full health again. That's good. Maybe she was always hiding gloves in order to hide the burn mark, you know? So you're aware that she always wore gloves? Well, aware. I mean, those gloves are practically her trademark, you see? But I guess they just weren't a fashion statement. She wanted to hide a burn mark, you know? I wonder that girl over there is also hiding something under all those bandages.
Huh? I'm not hiding anything.
Well, I think you are, you know? You're hiding the face of a criminal. Those words should be directed at someone like you. I shall expose here and now the face of a true criminal. Ha 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 ha! How amusing. Go ahead and try it if you think you can. So, Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. That's interesting. I should look over the evidence one more time. Well, either way, it's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know? Was there ever any trouble between you two over work? Ha ha! Unlikely, you know? I'm kind of important, you see? I got reports saying that she was exceedingly capable. Uh-huh. But our social status is completely different, you see? So we didn't talk much, you know? That may be true, but it doesn't prove that you didn't kill her. Well, that's rather prejudiced, you know? I mean, look at you. You're taking the side of a criminal.
It seems Miss Crane was the one who had an interest in you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, that really is a mystery. I haven't the faintest idea, you see? So, that's that. Since I had no motive, your reasoning doesn't hold, you know? I have no idea why she was pursuing me, you see? So, you have no clue why the victim had been pursuing you? Nope, not in the slightest, you know?
It's because Pops is such an awesome man.
It's true, you know? Women appear before me and then disappear. Disappear and then reappear. It's like a magic trick.
Ha ha. You guys can never reach my Pop's level of awesomeness. It would certainly be possible for a normal person. Having people appear and then physically disappear on a daily basis.
Well then, maybe Courtney's going to disappear too. Before that happens, I'll see to it your way of life disappears today. Well, I see. Well then, I should finish it before the day's over. I will have to organize my information about the victim.
If there's anything you don't understand, you should look over the evidence again. Perhaps you'll find a new fact this time around.
Francisca, you're willing to help me?
I told you! I'm doing this for Kay Faraday, not you!
Francisca seems to be worrying about Kay in her own way. Okay, so what is the big piece of evidence that we see here? She had a burn mark on her hand. She's always wearing gloves. So either way, I only just learned she had a burn mark. And then maybe she was wearing gloves in order to hide the burn mark. So it's got to be about the burn mark here, because he specifically mentioned it. Now, if we look at our evidence, there's the autopsy report. Because this one says that she had a burn mark on it, or
Game glitch, sorry about that. What I was trying to say was, this picture here shows she has a burn mark on her hand. So therefore, that's one piece of evidence we have. We also have a second piece of evidence, which was the stuffed animal. Someone talking to another person, one of them has a burn mark. Can we listen to that conversation again? We can play back the audio that was recorded by twisting this horn. And I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide the burn. So, if he knew about her burn mark, then that means the conductor is him, because he knew that, because she constantly has her gloves on. If she constantly has her gloves on, no one would recognize the burn mark. Whenever my chance to get revenge. Why would she want to kill her, though? Why does Blaise want to kill her? Yeah, I believe these are the only two evidences that say something about a burn mark. Yep. So there's only two pieces of evidence that we can use. Probably this. Because this says that the conductor knew that she had a burn mark. Blaise the best. Take a look at this piece of evidence and tell me what you think. Nope, that wasn't it. What do I think? Well, absolutely nothing at all. Right, Sebastian? Yeah, Pops. That has nothing to do with your testimony just now. Even Sebastian. That's a low point in our career. It looks like Mr. DeBest has gotten a bit livelier, hasn't he? Indeed, he probably feels a lot more confident with his father backing him up. However, I will break through the confidence of the DeBest father and son duo. Okay, well, there were 2 points here, though, that said she had a burn mark. So, here. Let's try putting it here. And if it doesn't work here, then I go to the autopsy report. Alright, there we go. We just used it on the wrong piece of evidence. Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that is true, then it creates a huge contradiction. Oh, a huge contradiction, you say? I would like you to listen to the voices recorded on this stuffed animal one more time. Yeah, we already done this. Literally already did this. We were under the impression that this was the moment when the victim was murdered. I knew you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought that this statement was said by the culprit. Well, is that fine? What's the problem, you know? Heh, there's a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand. Well, gloves come off very easily, you know? She could have taken them off during the auction. That's not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place. She must have been wearing them before she was murdered. What are you saying? You! Don't you understand the position you're in? I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Please, your day of reckoning has finally come. Somehow, seems like you all want to disappear. Oh, I didn't realize there was no line there, sorry. The one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaise the best. Hey, how dare you say that too, Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark was visible or not? It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation. He said the word! He said the word! Turnabout! What are you saying, Ying? If the victim's burn mark wasn't visible, what exactly does it tell you? What? The victim's burn mark wasn't visible. What exactly does that tell you? The victim's burn mark wasn't visible. The victim's burn mark wasn't visible. The victim's burn mark. That means the culprit also has to have a burn mark. We thought the conductor was saying that line to the culprit, but the culprit was saying that line to the conductor. The culprit recognizes who the conductor is. Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then a burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen? Someone else's burn mark? Exactly. Precisely. The culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim. Oh, it's getting good. This is getting really good. I like this. I like this a lot. My name is FlightlessBird. This is Torbius Gaming Channel. This is our blind let's play. Ace Attorney Investigation 2. Miles Edgeworth, the Prosecutor's Path. Thank you for everything, my friends. I love you all so very much. Hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, awesome day. If you're celebrating the holiday at this time of year, I hope you have a wonderful day with this. And just know that I love you guys all so very much. And I can't say how much you guys mean to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time, my dear friends. So long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.